Hey, it's Patrick with Kinetic Vigilantes, and today we're going to learn how to go into a handstand from a one-legged hop entrance. In case you don't already know, we're running an online inversion class on our website, and we want to give you a little taste of that here. An online inversion class is great because you can practice at your own time, at your own speed, and on your own schedule. When we're learning handstand today, make sure that you warm up first. That's incredibly essential to having success in the pose. Focus on your wrists, shoulders, hips, and hamstrings. Let's get started.
The first part of learning handstand is just getting upside down. So what you want to do is use the wall. The wall is your friend. It's here to support you, to really help you get comfortable being on your hands. So you want to just get up there. You don't have to worry about your form or your balance right now. What matters is getting upside down and getting comfortable. So you're going to place your hands a few inches from the wall. So you walk your feet in and just kick up. It may take a few tries. Use whatever power you need to get your hips over your head.
If you're having trouble getting upside down against the wall or with a partner supporting you, the biggest problem probably is that you aren't comfortable with taking weight in your hands or your wrists aren't warmed up enough. So the key thing to really kind of break that habit, really learn that you can put weight in your hands and you are totally capable of being upside down and holding an inversion, is walking forward from a downward dog. So as you can see here, I'm going to go into a downward dog. And then just walk forward. As I'm walking forward, I'm putting more and more weight into my hands, to the point where they're finally at that 90-degree angle that I need them to be for me to be upside down. Again, you may also need to spend a little bit more time working on the wrist stretches, because that is what will help you get your wrist to be able to take the angle, or get to the angle, that is 90 degrees that you need to really go upside down and be vertical and hold a handstand. Once you're comfortable going upside down, it's time to start working your strength and your balancing. So you can practice handstand in the middle of the room. You don't have to hang out with your friend at the wall all the time. So the key things to do there is to back up a little bit from the wall than we were going up before. Find a good distance that you feel comfortable with. Maybe for some people it may be here, for some people just maybe here. Start to lean over your hands and get to your position. Lift your leg and start to take lighter hops. As you see, I touch the wall here. That's okay. Now that I've touched the wall, I'm really working on my form. I'm sucking in my core as much as possible. Right? I'm pointing my toe at the leg that's not touching the wall. And now I'm going to try to slightly just lift this leg off to meet my feet together. There's a lot of flexion going on in my fingers to hold me in this pose. If I ever feel uncomfortable off the wall, I just, bring the foot right back to it. To work on strengthening here, you can keep one leg on the wall, push out your shoulders, and just drop the other leg down. The key to working on that pose and making that leg drop down and back to the ground really effective for you is sucking in your core as much as possible. You want to make that feel concave, and your abs and your ribs are meeting together. So that's the kind of feeling you should have when you're upside down, when you're working on your balance against the wall. Finding a straight line from your hands to your pointed toes is very crucial for your handstand in terms of holding the pose and making it, just look pretty. So a good drill to work on against the wall that will really help you master this technique is bending a leg to find your straight line. So you should back your hands up away from the wall a little bit more here, so you have the opportunity to really go straight. Get your hands in a good, comfortable position for you. Your hands should be placed right underneath your shoulders. Right? There should be a straight line from hand to shoulder. You should feel a little bit of flexion here in your wrist. This is very key. If you don't feel any tension in your wrist here, it probably means that you are not in the right hand placement. The tension shouldn't hurt at all, but you should just feel a little action, a little activity going on, a little heat, you could call it. So I'm stacked, my hands are in a good place, they're right underneath my shoulders. I'm pushing out of my shoulders. I lift the leg, I bend my lower keep my top leg bent, my leg that I want to be on the wall, because this is how it's helping me find my straight line. I can feel the straightness here because I know that I can feel my hips that are over my head, or over my shoulders, because that's the key position there. I feel a good flexion of my wrist. My toes can be pointed. I can just bring this leg lightly up the wall a bit more, a bit more, a bit more, and then off. And then I know I'm straight. Lower it down. And practicing that will really help you figure out a nice straight line, as well as how to have just a great overall handstand position. Practicing handstand with a partner is highly recommended. It's a lot of fun. Plus, they can be your support system and give you tons of in-person feedback. So, Carly and I are going to practice together. We're going to work on what we call a supported one-legged handstand. And with that, Carly's going to get into a version of a standing split in a downward dog with a leg lifted, where she's really focusing on putting a lot of weight into her hands. So as we see here, we have good bone stacking and good wrist flexion, so we know this is a nice straight line. Carly's ready to go. So the first thing I do here is I check that out, make sure she's having flexion in her core, so she's using that to lift her other leg up. So I just grab this foot, and Carly pushes her leg into it, and then lifts her other leg up. And then we move these legs together to meet each other. Carly helps us out in that process. Notice that I never grab both feet. When you grab both feet, that's dangerous. Your partner has nowhere to go. If they feel uncomfortable, they want to come down. It's always good to have good communication between partners. So once we get Carly here, if she's ready, she's feeling good, we can practice balancing a little bit. I can just give her light taps, and Carly's doing really good with her balance. So she's holding it upside down. So that's awesome. And whenever she's ready to go down, she can go down on her own. And that's the first step to practicing with a partner. After you and your partner practice supporting each other in a handstand a couple of times, you may be ready to just practice spotting each other in the middle of the room. This involves a lot more of the partner getting upside down on their own. So, the key thing for this is you're just a spotter. You're not lifting them up. They're doing all of that work on their own. You're just here to make sure that they don't flip over and hurt themselves, or anything that's involved with just going over and anything like that. So, as a spotter, I come into a warrior one stance with my front leg just nicely bent, and I'm ready to receive their weight here. So Carly comes into her abbreviated downward dog standing split, weight in your hands. I'm in a nice position. Carly's gonna launch herself up here, and I just grab her leg. Really, I'm supporting her with barely any weight here. So it's because of this good strong base. You can accept the weight. You can also really control your body. Now the Carly's upside down. Again, we can practice, just light taps to keep them upside down, help them work on positioning, finger flexion, and core engagement. As they come overboard, you're here to catch them on your shoulder. That's the key point. Again, never grab two things. Only grab one leg or support them on one hip. So they always have an exit strategy available to them.
When you're ready to start practicing handstand in the middle of the room by yourself, these are the few things that you want to keep in mind as you go along. Patrick's going to come down into his abbreviated downward dog, keeping the weight in his hands. The weight's going to be about the middle of your palms, right here in the center. Not too much in the fingers and not too much in the heels of your hands. So Patrick's going to suck in through his core and lift one leg to enter this way. He's right here, his shoulders are stacked over his wrists, got one straight line, and his hips come over his head. So you can see the line comes all the way from his toes to his ankles, hips, shoulders, elbows, and hands. This is what is going to stack your bones and keep you in the right safe spot. Patrick's engaging through his core, sucking in through his legs, turning his thighs inward, and really pointing his toes as much as he can. So right here, your drishti is also going to be in the middle of your hands, right about here. Not too far forward and not too far back. So whenever Patrick's ready, he can come down controlled, one leg at a time, the same way he came up.
Exit strategies are essential to practice in the middle of the room. One that I recommend is just walking your hands forward when you feel off balance. This will allow you to put your weight going backwards so you can comfortably land on your feet.
The other one is like a cartwheel that goes sideways. You come up, you feel off balance, you just twist your hips and land with one foot down. Thanks for watching. We hope this video helps you learn handstand. You can start practicing this pose in the middle of the room or anywhere you choose. Please like and comment on this video, it really helps us out. And if you want to join our online inversion class series, we'd be happy to have you. Remember, the first 2 weeks are free, so check that out today and really start exploring your inversions.